Hey everyone, this is Amber from DSA Threads, and today I'm just going to kind of do like a really fast explanation of some of the Needlelace that I'm making. Working with my hands is actually a form of stimming, and I didn't realize that, but like that's the reason why I like hand sewing so much. Let's just move on and I will show you what I'm going to be doing for a very long time, way into the future. And again, these techniques are probably not what they did back then, because, you know, we didn't have tape. So basically what I did is I found this pattern in Vecellio. It's a really simple pattern. I wanted to choose something really simple off the bat because I'm new to all of this. And I just made myself a repeat along a line that I drew with the little ruler. And then what I'm doing now, or what I did do, as you can see, is you actually have to go through and you have to make these little loops in the paper. Oh, first you cover it with tape. I put 2 layers of tape on here. It just makes it, I don't know why, but the consistency makes it easier. And then see on the back here, you see how I've actually, this is a much thinner thread that's used to create the little loops. And these little loops at all of the different joints and stuff like that are what are going to allow you to move the top linen thread through all of them in order to create the shape you need and keep everything taut while you are doing your buttonhole stitch around everything. These little things here are called picots or peacots or pickets, I have no idea, and they kind of make it extra fancy. Let me see if I can keep this in frame while I'm doing it. Okay, so right now I'm working on this motif right here, and so I am running my needle through that little thing there, and I'm going to go up to this little picot here. Picot, peacock, tomato, pull it through. Okay, this is hard. I'm gonna have to get like a light or something, I think. And then come back down, I guess. And what I'm doing is just creating the groundwork with some, you know, bulk of threads that I'm going to surround with my buttonhole stitch. So like now I've got 2 threads for each of those little areas for the V, and now I can start doing my buttonhole around. I'm going to go down here. It's really important to plan where you're going to go, because at the end of the day you have to make sure you end up all the way over here so you can keep going this way. But it's really not a big deal at this point because you've still got this baseline here, so as long as you end up at the baseline, you're good to be able to move on to the next motif. You just don't want to get stuck up here or something, right? Okay, so now I'm going to do some buttonhole stitch. And you can see it's working its way down. You're just making a row of knots. That's pretty much all that Needlelace is tons and tons of knots in different formations. Oh, come on, don't hit the, don't do that. Don't hit your camera. Jeez. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying while I'm sewing. Disclaimer, there will be shaking of the camera. Okay, and then here you can see, now I have this whole row here. That's knots. Yay! And now we're gonna go back up to here. And then probably what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to here and then do my knots all the way around this way so I make it to the baseline, and then I can come over here and start doing the pie cuts for this. And like, seriously, like that's pretty much it. Like it's really not that hard. There are way more complicated shapes and stuff like that, but like it really all comes down to, can you do this for extensive amounts of time, for months even, and create something pretty? I am just amazed at the patience level of people who came before us who made things like this, because I mean, I guess they didn't have a choice, right? I mean, let's be honest. The history of making lace and stuff like that was probably just a bunch of women who were really bored. Potentially. Allegedly. Okay. So then once you've done like the entire row, what you do is you go in and you go back to this baseline here and you do buttonhole stitch all the way across, and then you have your piece of lace. And what you do is you snip all of these grounding threads that you put in for all the loops, and then you take the thing off and it like shrinks up and looks really scary. And then you can either press it or you can starch it. That'll keep it from getting dirty, and give it some stiffness so that you can apply it to the edge. Then you end up with this, where you can stitch it to the edge of your, so this is like a rolled hem, and then this is just whipped onto the edge, and it's pretty cool. I actually did not starch this, so this is just the raw stuff, and it's gonna be so pretty when it's done, whenever that is, a couple years, I don't know.
I hope you've enjoyed this very quick and dirty explanation of how to make basic needle lace, and if you want to continue seeing videos, please like and subscribe.